Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, the 17th of August. So looking at the euro dollar first, and well, the rather lackluster minutes from the Fed brought the sort of the euro pushing back up yesterday, and well, put a more positive stance in there at the moment. It's not overly bullish. It's failed to do too much in the last few hours through the Asian session there, chopping along a little bit. If anything, there's been a bit of a divergence through the highs, which may suggest that we could sell off towards the daily pivot at some point. Any break and push up towards the R1 would change my mind on that, of course. It would suggest there's still some oomph in this market, or the euro, and some dollar weakness to come, but we'll be sitting here carefully this morning looking out for how it shapes up, really. I'm not trying to second guess this market. I mean, it has put higher lows in, but to say there is also divergence, so it's a split of ideas. Okay, let's have a look at the pound. Pound moved less yesterday. It's still sitting on this daily 100 MA at the moment. It's popped up a little bit. It really didn't do too much. In fact, it more consolidated through yesterday's session. The FOMC results, they had a little bit of a bounce. Looked like it. I mean, it's diverged again at the lows here. So we've got the opposite to the euro in a sense. It diverged at its lows, pushed up somewhat. Has got a daily pivot below us, so there's a good possibility we could come back towards that. It's just about on the 60-minute 21 at the moment, which will give us a bit of support again. So we'll just see how it rolls through again this morning. But well, as I say, there was a bit of divergence at the lows there. It'll be interesting with this price action yesterday. It just does look like a bit of a bottoming in price action, but I think we need to just see how these markets roll, and don't think the pound's out of the woods yet in terms of its with all the Brexit negotiations hanging over its head. It's not looking fantastic, so we'll see. But for now, well, I'd like to see that daily pivot hit and then make a bit of a decision from there onwards. That's the pound. So look at the yen. Okay, so dollar yen. Well, that strengthened yesterday, followed through the Asian session at the moment. Ran into the daily 21, just threw it a little bit there, but seems to be correcting to the down, back into that original trend at the moment. So we're sort of almost testing that sort of zone. Again, important this morning to see how it reacts. I mean, it's not giving anything too clearly away. There is a daily pivot above, so a break maybe of the hourly 8 may give us a sort of a signal that it may have a bit more legs to push back up. It's no signs of reversal as such at the lows here until it breaks as that high at the 4 o'clock high there from yesterday. If it starts pushing through that, well, then I would expect, sorry, I say this yesterday, this morning rather, and if we break through that, it sort of confirms a higher low and perhaps a push on towards the pivot. But at the moment, with the lower highs that sort of popped in there, it looks weak if anything. Aussie dollar. Okay, put a big daily pivot swing in yesterday, pushed up a bit since then. It's looking quite bullish relative to some of the other markets, and no real signs, maybe getting a bit extreme, a bit overbought in terms of where it's sitting at the moment. And yes, there is a bit of divergence sitting around the highs here, but double divergence. But it's consolidating around that phase as opposed to immediately rolling over. If we start again, the sort of signal for the downside would be if we start breaking through that 60-minute 8, pushing through that sort of area, 10s, 8s, it doesn't matter what moving average you use there. But if it starts breaking through those sort of lows there and starts rolling over, well, we've certainly got the 21s that hasn't been touched for a while on the Aussie, and then we've got the daily pivot, which would be a reasonable target from there onwards if it starts rolling over. There's little I can see at the moment that's likely to give it much in the way of further help at the moment. I'm looking for the details here. We've got retail sales in the UK. Actually, we've had data out in Australia overnight, which was the employment rate, which was pretty positive, and hence the moves earlier on. It's not a lot that may move the Aussie this morning or today. Okay, and finally the Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar seeing there's some strengthening against the US dollar here, selling back off again. I was looking yesterday whether we'd had a bit of divergence or tighter thoughts up there, and it really has followed through from that broken below the daily pivot. This is now more bearish than anything else, but maybe in the short term we may have clicked into. Well, it's not quite oversold there yet, but on the 4 hourlies, but maybe on the smaller time frames, it's certainly got oversold yesterday, and it's extreme. There's a bit of divergence kicking around the lows here as well. So seeing this sort of across a lot of these markets in terms of where there may be some potential for a bit of strength here from dollar weakness to come through, dollar strength to come through rather, and we could see a push back towards the daily pivots there. Again, if it pushes through that 8, I'll be possibly looking more interested in a move back up. That's pretty much it for me. News-wise today, as I say, we've already had the Aussie data coming out. Got retail sales for the UK at 9:30. It does give us a bit of volatility around 9:30. Got the final CPI for the Eurozone, which doesn't really do too much at 10 o'clock. But we do have the ECB monetary policy meeting accounts coming at 12:30, which could give us a bit of a kicker. Thereafter, I'm just looking through here. It's very light news, really. 215 capacity utilization, industrial production in the US. That doesn't generally give us too much. We have an FOMC speaker though then at 5:30 p.m., which I'll be done and dusted with trading by then, but he may create some volatility late afternoon there. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.